Live? Yay. All right. Hey, it's we'll just wait for our guest to join us one moment. Really grateful at the same time sorry that we're having this event, but I'd like to welcome you to a very, very, very special edition of Just Place, honoring Andy and Linda, who we both love, and we're it was a year ago we were visiting their studio, making some music together, and some of our friends are all here to perform. But unfortunately, a tornado hit their studio, and my God. So, Linda, were you there when it happened?
No, I was at home watching the TV, though I knew it was close to us and close to him. So.
And Andy, how did you know a tornado was going to hit, or what was going on?
Well, a buddy named Kenny, we were hanging out at the studio and we were chilling, and
a dog named Coco,
and I had my little dog Coco with me, the little wire hair terrier. But the first thing was the alert on the phone came through, and we thought, okay,
how often do you get those types of alerts living where you live?
Pretty much. I don't know, if it's a bad storm, you get them.
I remember sitting in the living room during a bad storm, hearing that roof go and hearing all that noise, and it could happen at any time. But have you ever had a tornado come close to your studio before?
Never.
No. Did you see the fireball outside the window?
Did I? Yeah.
Well, Fireball?
Yeah, it was a transformer station blew up.
Oh no!
Blew it up.
Lit up the sky.
Lit up the night sky. And so anyway, Kenny and I we're sitting in there, we're chilling, and we just zipped up the mandolin and the banjo and put them in their cases and set them back on top of the piano over there. And again, chilling, and so we went outside to just kind of look at the sky and stuff, and it was very dark, ominous looking, but we didn't think too much about it, and we went back in. And then we got another alert, and then I went out, and that's when I saw that transformer blow, and I told Kenny, I said, that ain't good. I said, we really don't have time to get in our trucks and leave. I said, you get in the bathroom, I'm gonna go next door here and see if this lady's here. And banged on that door, and I was satisfied that she wasn't there. And I went back in, and Coco had come out of the bathroom. I grabbed him up.
And the truck was parked parallel to the front wall.
Yeah, that's a weird story. The truck was like where I always park. Everybody knows where I park, right?
Yeah.
So, I always park like right in front of the door there. And so I grabbed Coco up and go into the bathroom, and we shut the door. And I mean, immediately after shutting that door, it hit, and the first thing was like the building just sort of buckled. You felt the building buckle, and then it was just a lot of loud noise and
a lot of metal
scraping metal, crashing, banging, pow, and all that. And you hear like a loud whistling wind, like a really loud whistle. Didn't really sound like a freight train. You hear a freight train. My experience was more of a whistling wind. And then very quickly it was over. And then there was a hard driving rain that lasted very shortly. And then that too was over. And so we then had to get out of there. So we had to open the door, which was a struggle. But we finally got the door open, and we turned right, and we couldn't believe our eyes. I mean, the whole living room, it was just gone. I mean, it was just a total mess. There was like big iron beams bent like elbows, like made of rubber or something.
That whole front glass was framed with metal. All the glass was inside on the floor or on top of the furniture.
Right. And then when we turned to go back to the control room and the main floor, at first glance, everything looked great. It was like, okay, nothing happened back here. But then as we stepped back there, water's just pouring in all through the control room, all in the very back. So there's water coming in from everywhere. And that was partly due to the rain and the water pipes busting. because there were water pipes that busted open. But
Wow.
Then you smell gas.
then we smelled gas because the gas lines got tore up. So
Oh no.
that's when we said,
Gotta go.
we survived a tornado. The last thing we want to do is die in a gas explosion. Let's get the Hades out of here.
Oh boy. Oh God. Wow. Wow. I'm glad you. Oh my God. So how long did it take for you to get out of there? Were you able to just left at that point?
Well,
A minute.
it took a minute because we had to go out the back and come back around to the front where our cars were. And
Surprisingly, they survived.
and as soon,
The windows.
yeah, and our cars, weird. His back window and my back window were sucked out because it's more of a vacuum that happens,
Yeah.
So it sucked out the back windows of both my truck, his truck, every truck that was out there in that parking lot lost the windows.
Well, the studio imploded. Everything went inside, but the truck came out.
Yeah, it is weird. So,
Wow.
damage on the truck was what the guy said, like $7,000-8,000 worth of damage, but the insurance company is going to take care of the truck. Unfortunately, we didn't have insurance
on the
for
studio.
the studio. And so anyway, it is what it is. And then I found out also that my buddy's truck, he was able to get his fixed, so he had insurance. So that was a good thing. But for me, I guess the most impacting moment inside the room was holding Coco as she's shaking, and my buddy's on the phone with his wife, and I don't have my phone. My phone's out in the studio. I left in such a hurry to get in the bathroom. My phone's still sitting on the couch where I like to hold cord at, right?
Right.
So I'm just sitting there thinking about it, and when the tornado hit, he lost his service on his phone.
Huh.
And my buddy, he looked at me and he said, "What are we going to do? What are we going to do?" I said, "Well, in the next few minutes, we're either going to live or die." And that's pretty much it,
Wow. Well, I'm so sorry for everything that happened. So a few of your friends are here to perform.
I appreciate them all.
Shout out to Sarah who set up the GoFundMe. There, we have in the chat the GoFundMe that she set up, and
John also helped clean up too.
Yeah, Sarah and John were out there every day helping with the cleanup.
Wow, thank you guys.
Yeah, they came in like champs, man.
Well, we have a show. Lauren has her hands full, literally. I see. So I'd like to just introduce the artists that are going to be joining today to perform for you, and hopefully help get incentivize our friends to give. So Sarah and John, come on forward, and Colm, come on forward, and Wes plus one coming soon. So this is Sarah and John, who I met in the living room, and Colm and Wes and Victoria were all together about a year ago. Literally, is like, I think on the anniversary of that tornado was on the anniversary, and we were getting together because I saw on my phone. Footage that I shot, and it's like, this is just so surreal. And oh, there's Victoria. So
how weird.
It was just weird. So I guess we're going to do a round robin of songs. I think we'll give the first mic over to John and to Sarah and John to kick things off. And I don't know, maybe we'll do one song. Lauren, you just basically one song pause. I'm deferring to my associate, my co-host Lauren, who has a special co-host, Nina, in her hands.
Yes, and Colm and I have been doing this together. What I think we should do is to leave the three artists up.
Yeah, I'll get out.
Sarah, and just wait before you go anywhere. Let Sarah and John kick it off. Colm would be next, and then we'll go to Wes and Victoria. And you guys,
Lauren's actually hosting Jeff's place. I'm just getting out of here. Thank you, love you.
Don't leave. And you guys can talk to each other about what you just played or whatever, and then we'll tell stories. We also have a video to watch, so we got this. Andy and Linda, I'm going to put you into the audience. Is that all right?
Yeah.
Sure.
All right. For the audience, what we're going to ask is that if you have questions, if you have a request, You could tell us where you're coming from. This is all just from the heart. So here we go. And I'll be quiet now. Bye,
Love
guys.
you all.
Love you.
Well, Jeff, Linda, Lauren, Andy, thanks for having us. Colm, thanks for kind of championing this and you know sending us really nice audio messages on Instagram.
And I'm surprised.
That was just super nice to hear your voice and see you guys again. It's been a while. We miss you.
Thanks for setting this up.
Yeah.
But yeah, with the reunion, I had a notification too on my phone. I didn't even think about it, but yeah, it was the same day. It said reunion, and it was for everyone that was there that traveled in, and we did that little pilot together.
Yeah.
Okay, so we wrote this song last night.
Yeah. It's about 12 hours old. So.
Yeah, we stayed up really late and we wrote this song. What do you think it's called? I think it's called Love's Around.
I think Love's Around or in the corner of a round room, but we don't know yet.
We don't know which one. I wrote it in this notebook, so if you see me flipping through, it's because still don't know the lyrics, but we'll just go for it. Yeah. Corner of the round room, there's nowhere you can hide. I think that you'd remember if you only closed your eyes. Just stay there for a minute, let it take you by surprise. In the corner of a round room, there's nowhere you can hide. It's in the little moments, and nothing you can plan. Oh, love's around, love's around, love's around. And sure, nobody's perfect, but you do the best you can. Oh, love's around, love's around, love's around. Sitting on a carousel, tipping back and forth. Heights have always scared me, but they don't seem to anymore. With your arms around me, we can face the world, I'm sure. Sitting on a carousel, tipping back and forth. It's in the little moments, oh, nothing you can plan. Love's around, love's around, love's around. And sure, nobody's perfect, but you do the best you can. Oh, love's around, love's around, love's around. A dream I keep on dreaming. The newsman on TV says the world is ending, but it doesn't bother me. 'Cause you hand me a soda and you kiss me on the cheek. A dream I keep on dreaming. I'm happy as can be. It's in the little moments, oh, nothing you can plan. Oh, love's around, love's around, love's around. And sure, nobody's perfect, but you do the best you can. Oh, love's around, love's around, love's around.
Wow. Wow. Absolutely beautiful. It's just like less than a day old. Wow. I love it. Wow.
Sarah always gets on me for not wanting to write music because I'm running around with stuff. So last night we had a little show last night and came home and she was on me about let's write a song.
He's like, let's watch a movie. And I'm like, no, come on, let's write a song. Let's write a song. He's like,
the original opening line of that song was what was it? It was Andy's in the bathroom and there's a storm like that once inside.
I was like, I don't want to say bathroom in the first line.
For the visual of you getting kissed on the cheek.
Well, that line comes from because every time we're in round room, Andy loves Diet Dr. Pepper.
Yep.
And I always hand him a soda. So I wanted to incorporate that somewhere in the song.
Thank you.
Wow.
When I was thinking about my favorite memories in round room, my favorite memories that came up were just hanging out with Andy and the conversations and moments we had because although it sucks, the building is gone. Buildings are replaceable.
Yeah.
People are not.
Memories are forever.
Mhm.
Wow. That was beautiful. All right, Lauren, the host. Who's next?
You know who's next. Colm's next. And Sarah, I think that what you said is just why we're all here, is that we are so beyond grateful that Andy is okay.
Yeah.
And that is okay.
Amen.
And that all of you are okay. And that we always learn that it's the people, the places, as long as we're all together, then the place has just as much magic as it had before. We know that because we can meet anywhere. I bet you if we all met in a bus station somewhere and you guys started to play, we would all feel the same way. That just means we could have a reunion wherever you say, let's go, pick a day and time. Let's go, let's go.
Well, maybe the 9th in a new studio. We'll see. Seems to be an important day.
Yes. Colm?
All right, Colm, you're up, man.
Yeah, well, following on from that beautiful new song, I'm going to sing a song with the word bathroom in the first line. Not really, but yeah, you know, there's room for anything everywhere. I mean, one of the things I would say about Andy and Linda, of the many things that you could say and would say, is I found the people of Tennessee, particularly, you know, sort of right across the Bible Belt, there's a great similarity to rural Ireland and sort of the Ireland of, talking about Munster, it's a place like Galway, Mayo, Connemara, Clare. And one of the things that instantly hit me about Andy and Linda was their just overwhelming sense of hospitality, in that you're greeting 12, 15, 20, 30 people that you're meeting maybe for the first time. And every one of them, at least from my perspective, it felt like we were all Andy and Linda's kids. And to get that kind of magic on a first-hand experience or on a whim is just a testament to the people that they are. And it's such a bummer that at times like this, where you take two people who are the absolute epitome of generosity at the time of year where generosity should be at its most fluid, and they're going through a tough time. So one of the things I would say to anybody watching tonight is, with the utmost sincerity, all the fucking goodwill and everything in the world, if you do have something that you can spare, please do, because it's going towards two people who absolutely deserve it. And I think at this time of year, regardless of what your religion or creed is, try to be a manger for a Mary and a Joseph, or in this case, an Andy and a Linda, if you can. I'm going to do a song that's kind of like a well wish to somebody, to anybody, and it's kind of like a prayer. The last verse articulating that the best, when it says, as you lay your head to sleep and all the neon lights turn blue, it's kind of like Nashville. I hope your dreams take shape and walk, and then one day they all come true. And I wish that for all of you, but particularly Andy and Linda at this time. This is a song from my first album. It's called Little Darling. Little darling, I've tried learning all the songs you love to hear, tales of wicked games and riptides, but the words were all unclear. Instead of talking about the weather, are all the things you'd love to do. I can't explain quite what I'm thinking, so I wrote this song for you. You're a tiny ballerina in this age of diamond rings. I'm as foolish as the dove that lost its heart to shiny things. But we'll never get tomorrow if the moon decides to rise. Although I thought I saw the world one time reflected in your eyes. It's the chance I've got to take to see one summer's morning break, or watch a golden sun illuminate your hair. The light of love itself, indeed, the only arms I'll ever need, the best there's ever been, complete beyond compare. My first vocal coach was a great soprano singer, and one of the problems with the Dublin accent is that when you say the word arms, sometimes it can sound like the word arse, and arse and arms, two very, very different things. So my arms sometimes becomes arms, like a kind of an anglicized version of it, just for the sake of those listening from Ireland or the UK or whatever. So as you lay your head to sleep and all the neon lights turn blue, I hope your dreams take shape and walk, and then one day they all come true. I must be leaving now, my dear, but let me say before I do, there's not one star within the sky that's half as beautiful as you. Even if you're sitting in a bathroom, it was meant to be the first line. Anyway. Thank you, Andy and Linda.
Wow, that was beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Colm.
Thank you. Thank you. Pleasure.
Wow, that was nice.
Talent, man. That's you guys, man. Y'all's talent just overwhelms me. All of you guys, just you overwhelm me with your talent.
Thanks, Andy.
It's better than marijuana.
Wow.
A whole lot cheaper too.
Oh, sorry. All right. Well, Wes and Victoria, it looks like you're up next.
All right, we're bringing the echo. For some reason, we bring an echo whenever we go. It's just an external manifestation of all the sound bouncing around inside our brains most of the time, I think. But before we get started, I've been spending the last day or so telling people that I know about the two of you, Andy and Linda, and just not only the beauty of the round room that I got to experience, but just the beauty of the both of you and your story and what you've lived through. And you got a beautiful love story in addition to the beautiful hearts that you're living in. And it's a rare thing in these days, and I really celebrate and honor that. And, sadly enough, if there's anybody who knows about living through hard times and being able to get through it, it may be a dubious praise, but surely you two know how. So my money's on you to get through for sure. And we're going to play a song about, before we play this song, it's called Angels Rendezvous, because I think the Angels did rendezvous at the Round Room, and I believe they will in the future. I just want to thank Sarah and John for that beautiful brand new song, and Colm, man, what a beautiful song, man. Thank you. And
great hearing your voice.
It's just good hearing your voice again. And
been too long.
We've been on Team Colm since we met Colm, and our big adventure there in Boston. So so enough memory lane, let's play this song. It's called Meet Me Where the Angels Rendezvous. Now, Lord, I kissed the devil far too many times. Looked into that mirror, old before my prime. It's funny how that game, it's always over long before it's through. Now it's strange how life's destruction, it can bring you to your knees. I never noticed I was dying by degrees. I settled into darkness. Man, I was lost without a clue. And I found you. You said, meet me where the angels rendezvous. You know all my frustrations and all my bitter tears. And I had that self-righteousness I used to hide my fear. Well, they were just protection, man. It was keeping me away from you. I was trapped inside of anger, Lord, trapped inside of shame, trapped inside a victim I thought I had to play. I was desperate for affection. Yes, then I found you. You said, meet me where the angels rendezvous. I seen angels in the secrets I'd hidden down inside my heart. I felt angels in love, come to find with you. If you feel abandoned now, and if you're all alone, your dreams feel broken, your love is gone, I'll be there waiting. This I promise you. Just meet me where the angels rendezvous. 'Cause it'll be me and you. Just meet me where the angels rendezvous. Yes, that's what we'll do. We'll meet where the angels rendezvous. I said, you just meet me now. Meet me where the angels rendezvous.
Wow. Beautiful song. Wow, that's nice.
Definitely angel mojo there at the round room.
Absolutely. Mojo. Absolutely.
A good description for how I felt when Andy and I first met. We couldn't see each other physically, but we could meet where the angels rendezvous.
Yeah, I remember sitting at dinner that night hearing your story, and it just was like, I have retold it to the degree that I could do it justice.
Oh, thank you.
Wow.
Awesome thing to be doing this today.
Yeah.
Oh, and by the way, if you get the studio by the train tracks, just tell people you'll lease the studio during those 2 times for anybody doing a train song.
Yeah.
Okay. They can have an authentic train sound coming through their track, man. I mean, it's like a marketing angle for everything.
It's
right?
like the crickets.
Hey, you know, it is round room, could be round railroad.
Yeah, that's it. RRR.
Geo, back when that we introduced Jeff and Andy to each other, and we would go to Geo's. He was in New York City on the 20th floor. He was playing this song for Geo, and it had something to do with Call the Police. And just then, police sirens came up from on the ground floor.
Right on cue.
Right on cue. Yeah. Wow. All right. That was beautiful. And so if you're just tuning in, please look in the chat, click on that GoFundMe, and if you can give, please do. Help our friends rebuild their studio and bring back the love, continue the love and the magic for everyone. Sarah, John, I think we throw it back to you.
Yeah.
I want to say real quick, which something I think really interesting that Andy told me is that all of the liquor bottles were fine. Isn't that really prophetic? Like none of them got destroyed. So
Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy.
yeah, to me, that's a sign that
An Irish blessing.
That's right. Yeah. We actually the next day we went back to the destruction of the studio. Sarah got an impromptu boxing lesson from George.
George, really?
Oh wow.
Right there in front of the broken studio. And the fridge was completely fine. So we cracked open a few beers in the parking lot. And it was kind of special. It was nice. The sun was going down, and it was definitely a memory that.
Wow.
But yeah, I might.
Yeah, you go.
Yeah.
John's gonna do us.
So I wrote this song actually the day after the tornado. Funny enough, this one we had to write with a couple of songwriters in Nashville, and there's this Chinese fable. So my mom's from Taiwan, and there's this old Chinese tale. It's called The Chinese Farmer. If you're not familiar with it, but I sometimes tell it to Sarah whenever things are kind of bad and look hopeless. And pretty much the tale goes: there's a Chinese farmer and his son, and they have a horse. And one day the horse runs away, and the son goes to the Chinese farmer and says, "Bad news, our horse ran away." And the Chinese farmer says, "Well, good news, bad news, it's too early to tell." The next day, the horse comes back with 3 new horses. So the son goes to the Chinese farmer and says, "Great news, we have 4 horses now." And he says, "Well, good news, bad news, it's too early to tell." Next day, the son goes and trains one of the new horses, and he falls off the horse and breaks his leg. Bad news, I broke my leg. Good news, bad news, too early to tell. Because then that night, the Chinese government came by for the war and needed all able-bodied children to go and fight. Well, the kid couldn't fight in the war because he had broken his leg. So good news. And the whole premise behind it is when an event happens, sometimes it's okay to not judge the moment as good news or bad news. And obviously a tornado destroying the studio is terrible, but I think taking a moment for what it is sometimes is a great way of coping with it and understanding kind of the greater picture of everything. So we wrote this song with that in mind because the studio had been on my mind. It's called Too Early to Tell. There it goes. It's a little early. I'm going to pull up the lyrics just in case.
Yeah, it's also a new one.
Also quite new. Let's see. Too early to tell.
Way to hold it?
No, I'm all right.
Okay.
Don't worry. Do you believe in ghosts? Do you see them when you look in the back of your old man's truck? Does it ever make you think about what could have been I was? Or is it just me? We planned the day we graduate, we'd leave this place behind. Turns out this kind of love ain't strong enough for the miles we had to drive. It was heavy in your eyes, but they look a little different this time. Well, it don't feel like it did, like the way you felt back then. Now I'm a wildfire and you're the wind that rushes in. I could lose all control of you, put me out instead. Oh, this could be forever or farewell. It's too early to tell. Yeah, I heard you found somebody with a pile of money promising the stars. It's funny how we both came back home with a tank of gas and a broken heart. But you found me and I found you. Let's pile up that Ford just like we used to. Pick up where we left us in the rear view. It don't feel like it did, like the way it felt back then. Now I'm a wildfire and you're the wind that rushes in. I could lose all control of you, put me out instead. Oh, this could be forever or farewell. It's too early to tell.
Wow, that was beautiful. That was really nice. Yeah, it's a great, beautiful new song. And Sarah, thanks for jumping in on that too. That was nice.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. That's a good song, John.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I like that.
People I sent it to, Andy and Sarah were hanging out, and I told them kind of a little bit of that concept, and so yeah, I figured I'd play it.
It's really nice. It just sounds really good. Just does.
And I like it. You know, the studio is too early to tell. My first thought was, "You're alive. Who cares?"
Exactly.
Yeah.
This is Coco, my tornado.
And by the way, I want to give a shout out to people who are watching this because we've raised about $1,500 so far since we've been live.
Wow.
So shout out to the people watching. Thank you for supporting the GoFundMe for Andy and Andy, Linda in the studio, because thanks to viewers like you, this is working. So thank you all. It's amazing. I just want to jump in and say that. Thank you. It's just absolutely beautiful. And I'd like to thank those tuning in here on the inside and those watching live on the stream. Thank you for your support for our wonderful friends. Thanks for sharing love during the holiday season, and keep on clicking on the GoFundMe, please.
Hey, Coco here said she wants everybody to know she survived too.
Yeah.
Hey, Coco. Hello, Coco. Hello, Coco. Hi there. All right. That was my update. I hand it over to Colm.
And Andy and Linda, it's a testament to the people that you are. Do you know what I mean? Like, for people to dig into their pockets at this time of year when there's
So many
people can ill afford stuff as it is. You know what I mean? So I would take that as a massive, massive compliment. I know you know it. I know you know it already, but what a compliment, you know. And we've only been here 40 minutes, so
really.
Yeah, less than an hour. I'm going to do an old Irish song. And this was made famous by Bing Crosby, amongst others. And it's a song that I like to include in my repertoire at this time of year because there's a very popular Irish Christmas song called Fairy Tale of New York. And the refrain is, the boys of the NYPD choir were singing Galway Bay, and the bells rang out for Christmas Day. And the author of that song, Shane McGowan, passed away a couple of weeks ago. And he was somebody who, he was a legend, obviously, in his own right, and somebody who I had the good fortune to work with, very briefly on a project we did in St. Patrick's Cathedral a couple of Christmases ago. And he was an eternal character. He kind of became like a Brendan Behan, Joycean type character towards the end of his life, but always a poet. And so I sing this for Shane and for, of course, Andy and Linda, the reasons that we're here. This is called Galway Bay. If you ever go across the sea to Ireland, if it's only at the closing of your day, you can sit and watch the moon rise over Claddagh and watch the barefoot gossames at their play, just to hear again the ripple of the trout stream, the women in the meadows making hay, and to sit beside a turf fire in a cabin and to watch the sun go down on Galway Bay. For the breezes blowing o'er the seas from Ireland are perfumed by the heather as they blow, and the women in the uplands digging praise speak a language that the strangers do not know. For the strangers came and they tried to teach us their ways. They scorned us just for being what we are, but they might as well go chasing after moonbeams, or light a petty candle from a star. And if there's going to be a life hereafter, and faith I'm sure that there is going to be, I would ask my God to let me make my heaven in that dear land across the Irish Sea. On her back she had tattooed the map of Ireland, and when she took a bath on Saturday, she rubbed the sunlight soap around by Claddagh just to watch the suds go down on Galway Bay. There you go.
That was great,
Wow.
Colm.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah,
That was really nice. Wow.
that was awesome, man.
I love the theme of the day is having to relate to bathrooms, especially since you got saved by one.
Yeah, you know,
Public
bathroom saves
service
lives.
notice. They're not kidding when they say those bathrooms are the place to go.
All right.
Testament to that, absolutely.
And that whole structure there, the only places that really, you know, were safe were the bathrooms.
Wow. Crazy and true.
Yeah.
Wow. West Victoria, I guess it's on to you.
Thank you. You know, for years they've also referred to the bathroom as the executive washroom. So, you know, the executive washroom saved you for sure, right? You know, you know, I was thinking about the conversation earlier, Colm and I think Sarah and Jeff and everybody that were talking about how it just felt like it was Colm talking about how everything just felt like family. And there's a real good friend of mine who's got a line that says, "There's no name for old friends who just met." And of course, the guy that came up with that's pretty good with words. His name's Paul Williams. And Sarah was talking a lot about, and I love that song, by the way, guys. Sarah and John, what a beautiful song. And because I've been hanging out around Jeff's place, I've actually learned some old traditional covers, you know, so the Irish crew has inspired me, and we may play one if we get to that later today. But right now I want to play, I wrote a song as a songwriting exercise a long time ago. I heard if you're going to be a songwriter, you need to successfully write a song with a one-word title, like Crazy. Now, if you can write Crazy, that's kind of like writing Bridge Over Troubled Waters, but you know, you've written a legendary song. I will not say this song qualifies for that, but it is a song with a one-word title. And when I wrote it and put it on this is how long ago I wrote it. I put it on a cassette, and at least I didn't say 8-track. Okay. So I put it on a cassette, and I got a phone call from Paul Williams after he heard this song saying, "Okay, now that I've heard this song, you and I need to start writing songs together." So it's called Reunion. And the reason I thought of playing it is because of the reunion that Jeff and Sarah kept mentioning. So here we go. And it's basically just the thought that, especially in hard times, you know, whatever you believe in the realm of spirit, faith, whatever your connection to that is, my belief is, you know, we're always connected to it. We just have some thought we're holding in our mind that separates us from it, right? So you're only one thought away from whatever your concept of spirit is. And this song is really about what feels like this big distance between you and your place of faith and the journey you go to kind of work your way through whatever that thought is so you can let it go. So here's the song Reunion. guess that's separation. It begins the day we're born, and we spend our whole life searching, trying to feel safe and warm. That journey back to spirit, such an uphill climb. Struggle for reunion, a heartbeat at a time. You know I've taken many saviors as I've wandered down life's road, where they worked till they stopped working, and then I had to let them go. Journey back to spirit, man, that's such an uphill climb. Struggle for reunion, struggle for reunion, yeah, heartbeat at a time. So Lord, if you hear me, just answer this one prayer and help me to feel you. Just show me that you're there. I struggle for reunion, struggle for reunion. I struggle for reunion. Yes, I do. Well, you know I've had my moments that I was absolutely sure there wasn't nothing can't be mended. Yes, and love's the only cure. Well, you know I wish that feeling would stay frozen in my mind. I struggle for reunion, struggle for reunion. I struggle for reunion. Lord, a heartbeat at a time.
Oh wow, 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 wow.
Okay, and there will be more reunions.
More reunions, absolutely, absolutely. Wow, thank you for sharing that song. That was beautiful.
Jeff,
Yella.
how about bringing you and Andy and Linda back in? And before we do probably our last round of songs, unless people want to keep going, which is of course is fine. Just a little chance to chat together. What do you think?
Well, I would probably share the video that that was a result of our last gathering that was put together by Wes and Victoria. I would share that maybe before we go into the last round of songs. And I noticed Colm put in the comments that he was open for requests. So we could always make this a request from the audience, or actually a request from Linda and Andy, more like anyone else.
Yeah.
We'll ask them to request the songs since we're doing this with them for them. So what about the rest of your neighborhood, Andy? The other place was the entire building was gone. What about your neighbors, and what about the stores near you? Were they all affected, or was just that your corner?
No, there was
I'm sorry. Hang on.
Sure. they had to get rid of a rambunctious Jack Russell terrorist. So yeah, the neighborhood was affected quite terribly. The people in the same strip mall, I guess you could call it, areas that I was in, they all lost their businesses.
Oh,
But
God.
2 blocks away across the street, a young mother died with a baby in her arms.
Oh, no.
Her and the baby died, and a young father in the same, it was a trailer court that got hit, and a young father put his wife and child in a bathtub and went back out to try to get somebody else, and he died in the tornado.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. Oh, wow.
And over in Clarksville, Tennessee, 3 people died over there too. So, but there were many miracles. There was a church that had over 30 people in it, not far from us, over on Dickerson Road, and the whole roof collapsed on that, and they all went to the hospital, but they all survived.
Wow.
So
Wow.
it was a pretty devastating tornado. There were quite a few of them. They went from ranges of F2s to F4s.
Yeah.
So
Quite a few tornadoes.
they say the one that hit us was an F2. If that's an F2, I don't even want to know what anything above that looks like.
Right.
Yeah, F4 sounds like terrible. I mean, terribly powerful. My goodness. Well, I'm glad you survived, and I'm glad you made bathrooms famous again. So that's good.
Unfortunately, all the neighbors in that building they had just opened their businesses. There was a new furniture store. There was
The guy that made like scented
candles and soap.
perfumes and stuff.
Yeah, and they're just brand new entrepreneurs, and all their businesses are destroyed.
Oh, wow. I'm so sorry.
Everybody here knows Douglas, right? Y'all know Douglas. And he and I, we've been like shooting jokes back and forth, because when you're feeling down and out, nothing like some good jokes to get that laughter going, right? Get that funny bone. And I was telling him, I wrote this little ditty. I told him it was good, something along the lines of, I was in a tornado, hid in the bathroom, pooped in my pants, and I told him the title of the song was Rich Tornadoes North of Nashville. Kind of a play off of Oliver's song, Rich Men North of. But anyway, I thought that was kind of funny, but he shot it back with even a better one. He said, "Oh, I thought it was going to be a song, something like, I told Nashville to blow me, and they did."
Oh boy. Okay.
That's from Douglas.
This is an adult show, right?
Sure, absolutely. With a baby in the arms, absolutely. All right. So Wes, before we go live, could you do a proper intro to the video clip of the show, please?
Well, sure. The video that you're going to see, which Sarah and John are also a part of. This I think was on the second wave that came to the Round Room. And Colm and had been part of the first wave with what is it, the song about the salt shaker and the salt and the sugar. I think all was born out of that one. Anyway, this video we were shooting some footage with you and your crew, and we all were sitting around the lounge area or living room or whatever you guys called that area, and people were doing songs in the round, and we were all just going around. And there's a song that I wrote called There's a Place that, okay, the big secret, right? It's about Jeff's place, but it's sort of written that it could be about a lot of different places. And I feel like it fits the There Is a Place is also places like the Round Room. And so we were all just sitting around, and all these beautiful, talented souls were agreed to sing along after I said, this is where everybody sings. And they all joined in and sang. And we really appreciated it. And we just kind of recorded it to, just record it. And it's never been made public. It was just something that was for all of us to share. But with this event happening, and because it shows the studio, it shows that part of the studio, I wanted to, I've sent it to a bunch of people in LA as well. I just wanted to put the GoFundMe link in it and put it out there. Like, this is the kind of magic, less about us personally, but this is just the kind of magic that went on at this place and is going to go on at the future one too. So hopefully that's a decent introduction.
Thank you. And Mark, please scoot up. Coming up real soon. Like now?
Sorry. The problem is that it lost itself. So I just got to pull it back up and then I'll be able to run it. So just one second.
This is the world premiere of a video called There's a Place, starring some of the folks here on the show. And this is dedicated to Linda and Andy.
Okay. It's gonna just give me another second, Jeff, so you can chit chat for one more. You'll see when I come up. I just have to find the link again because it got disappeared. Hold on.
I gotta say, it was so cool for Sarah and John.
Harry's here, Jeff.
Duplicating the ground room.
Well, that was fun.
Yes, it is. Jeff, you know what, sweetheart? Could you just send me that link again? Because it's totally gone. Or is it just on YouTube as This Is the Place?
I'll put it in the chat so everyone can watch along.
Thank you. Everyone can see it. Okay, that's okay.
It's not a secret anymore, but I'll send it to you anyway.
But where's Harry? Let's see if we can. I don't know if he can come on.
He may not be able to come on, but I send you the link, Laura.
Thank you. Sorry to keep you waiting.
It's just not me. It's everyone else too.
Oh, stop.
I like Sarah and John. They're sitting on a red couch. That's like round room.
I know. I always, when I first went to Round Room, it wasn't very far after I moved into this apartment and bought this couch. And when I walked in, I felt so comfortable because I was like, what are the odds that they also have red couches in there? So crazy.
So crazy. All right, let me just make sure that the sound will go. Hold on.
Take it away. World premiere.
And go.
There was a place, everything broken got put in a circle, healed over time. Did you have the courage to go on that journey? There was a place like this you could find. This is where people sing. There is a place. There is a place. If there was a place, dreams could be mended, hearts could be tended, hope would be grown. Could you face the fear of your future, to go find a place like this to call home? There is a place. There is a place. It's not on a map that gets printed on paper, nowhere in a book you can read. But it's in your heart and you'll find its reflection there in the eyes of the ones who believe in you. There is a place. There is a place. It's true. There is a place. There is a place. Everything broken gets put in a circle, gets healed over time. Faith is the fair, and love is the journey to get to that place. It's yours and it's mine. There is a place. 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 Everything broken gets put in a circle, healed over time.
Oh, it's so nice.
Wow.
It's kind of
Thank
like
you.
we're on to the
Wow.
I think we got everybody listed in there.
I think so.
We may have missed Coco, so my apologies to Coco.
Wow. That was beautiful. Can't believe it was a year. Oh my God.
Yeah, almost a year ago. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, but we at least have on record. We have a lot of footage, Andy. We have a lot of footage of the days we were there. But that's one polished version of a few moments captured, which is just part of magic that you helped create. So thank you for that.
And I think, when we do find another place, which we will, we took a few items that we were able to salvage that will go into the new place that will recognize the old place or pay honor to the old place. Like we got the barn doors at the very back of the main room. We took the barn doors with us. So somewhere in the new studio, there will be barn doors out of looking out of
the original.
they're the original barn doors, and they'll look out of place, obviously, but they'll have a story to tell. And we were able to save that 113-year-old piano.
Oh, wow.
At some point, we'll find a place for the 113-year-old piano that has a story to tell. And, I was thinking about it the other day, and I'm pretty sure before too long, I'm going to be writing a story about a piano and its 113-year journey and kind of getting, woke up again in a tornado,
We just discovered the week before the tornado.
Yeah, we just, that here's an interesting story. That old piano sat in that corner unnoticed by a lot of people for a long time. And we were going to have pianos tuned, and this guy comes by and he's tuning it. And he says to me and Mike Holmes, he said, "Do you know what you got here?" I said, "Yeah, it's a upright piano." He goes, "Dude, it's more than that." And he says, "This thing right here is a treasure." He said, "This thing was made by Sear and Roebuck back in 1800s or early 1900s." And he said, "This thing here was made out of the best sturdy hard wood that was available in the day, because when they sent these things from Chicago out to the plains and everywhere else, they had to survive the trip. They're going over buckboards and all this other stuff." He said, "These things are worth a lot of money." And he put us with a collector that, just like said, "Yeah, this thing's like anywhere from $28,000-$30,000 right now." And so we were like, wow, who knew? But then when we found out the value of it, we had I guess a whole new appreciation for it. But, we were going to sell it because, it now had a story, right? And so because it has a story, we were going to keep it, and we still got it. And one of these days, before too long, I'm going to be writing this song about the story of this piano,
The mandolin that was set on top of the piano just before the storm hit,
Oh, yeah.
it landed up in the rafters, in between two steel beams.
Wow.
Touched, and then 2 days later, we found the banjo
Up inside the couch. You know how a couch has that fabric underneath it?
Yeah.
the fabric tore and the banjo hit up under the couch.
Wow.
Inside of it, actually.
Amazing. Wow. Wow.
Yeah, so it looks like everything grabbed some legs during that time.
Absolutely. And wings.
Yeah,
My
and-
goodness. Wow. Well, thank
Story
you for sharing. I'm still like in shock and in awe at the same time. All right. So Wes, Victoria, I guess it's up to you. Maybe Andy, you have any requests for Wes and Victoria?
Man, look, they do so much great stuff. I really particularly like the song that they just did. So they
Oh,
just did.
there is a
on
play. There
video,
is a
so
place.
it's kind of weird to say do it again. But that
I mean,
would have been
if
my
you would
request.
like, it would be our privilege.
Do it again.
Yeah, I'd be happy
Yeah,
to do
cool.
it.
Then run it again.
And key D. And of course, Zoom doesn't really work too good for everybody singing along, but it would sure be awesome if we had that choir back, right? But we'll give it a shot here. All right, it's called "There Is a Place." Okay, you probably know that after hearing that 67 times in the last version. Here we go. There was a place, everything broken, got put in a circle, healed over time. But you have the courage, go on that journey. There was a place, this you could find. There is a place. There is a place. There was a place. Dreams could be mended, hopes could be tended, hope could be grown. Would you have the fear of your future, or go find a place like this to call home? There is a place. There is a place. It's not on a map that's been printed on paper, nowhere in a book you can read. But it's in your heart and you'll find its reflection there in the eyes, the ones who believe in you. There is a place. It's true. There is a place. There is a place, everything broken gets put in a circle and healed over time. Faith is the fair, love is the journey to get to that place. It's yours and it's mine. There is a place. There is a place. There is a place, everything broken gets put in a circle, healed over time.
Yes.
Thanks.
There is a place.
There is a place.
All right. I'm going to go back to Linda and Andy and ask for a request for our column. Please unmute. Andy, Linda, pick a song. Column's at right. You're looking for a request. Yes, Colm? Yeah. So unmute, please.
I know everybody's writers here, but I have a really strong fondness for the Rovers. You got one from the Rovers?
Now, when you say the Rovers, Andy, are you just referring to the general Irish Republic, or is this a group?
A group.
No, not familiar with the Rovers.
Okay. Then I would love to hear an Irish song.
Okay.
Anything.
Any old Irish tune.
See, it's kind of like that joke about being out in Beijing and ordering Chinese food, or as they just call it, food. You know, so I could just play one of my songs, and that would technically be an Irish song, but I know what you mean.
What's your favorite song?
Let me
Of yours?
see. What's my favorite of mine? Well, I like the idea of doing an Irish song. I think there's something, particularly around Christmas time, because one of the lovely traditions that we have is, and with me and my fellow contemporary musicians, it's in abundance, is you find yourself in a pub at a lock-in, and invariably the guitars come out. And what I've often found is people who are expats, like Irish girls and guys who live abroad, sing those songs with much more gusto than I would have, because there's something about being removed from home that kind of, I don't know, you lift your voice a little bit more when you sing those really patriotic songs. So I'm just trying to think what I could sing you, because there are plenty.
I was thinking
Alan?
of
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Andy.
okay. Years ago, there was one called I Am an Irish Boy, Long From Home. Stuck down here in Australia or New Zealand. You remember that one?
There's a lot, Andy, that kind of follow that thread of longing for the homeland, or thinking of, or dreaming that they're back home and then they're not actually there, and that kind of thing. Lauren, what were you going to say?
Any one of those will do. Great.
I'll think of one.
I was going to say that at the end of our show in Ars Cronin that night, there was an Irish song that you all just belted out. And
the old triangle.
I guess. I don't know what it was, but man, it was powerful just to hear all of you. So
yeah, that's a real screaming at the top of your lungs one, but I'll do like a subdued version of the song, because like the wall here is my neighbor, and you know they're
I love
they
you.
put up with enough as it is. Okay. The old triangle. Oh, a hungry feeling came o'er me stealing, and the mice were squealing in my prison cell, and the old triangle went jingle jangle all along the banks of the Royal Canal. To begin, a screw was bawling, get up, you bowsy, and clean up yourself. And the old triangle went jingle jangle all along the banks of the Royal Canal. In the female prison, I had to key change up because it's too low. There are 75 women, and among those women, I wish I did dwell. And the old triangle would go jingle jangle all along the banks of the Royal Canal. Well, I wish to Jesus that they'd raise my wages from 14 shillings to £2 and 10. And the old triangle went jingle jangle all along the banks of the Royal Canal. All along the banks of the Royal Canal.
Shit, yeah, man.
Very
How
subdued.
old, how old is that one,
It's not
Colin?
too old. It was
How was-
written, I'd say, it was written by Brendan Behan, who's a great author and playwright. He was kind of known overseas for being a bit of a drunkard, and he appeared on American television many, many times and tended to make a bit of a fool of himself. And so people like him, like Flann O'Brien, who had, you know, a bit of a penchant for the sauce, as they say, kind of get overlooked as being the great writers that they were. But he, as far as I'm aware, his brother Dominic Behan put the melody to that. But it's the melody is very similar to an old tune called the Galway Shawl. So I reckon one definitely informed the other.
Now, as you were singing that, I was just wondering if right now somewhere in H Block there ain't some lad singing, huh?
Well, as far as I'm aware, the H Block no longer exists, but
Really?
certainly once upon a time, yeah.
They tore it down?
Well, I mean, that's hugely representative of the hunger strikes and your old buddy Bobby Sands and things like that, you know. So they don't exist today as they did in 1973 for sure.
Hey, good to know.
Wow, thank you for sharing.
Thank you, Colin.
That was great. All right, so I think is this the final song? Maybe, I don't know.
Sarah and John?
Yeah.
Well, hey, they got two that I really, well, they got so many songs I love. I know all their music, but I know Sarah dropped a new one called Toy Piano, but you know, I got a soft spot in my heart for one that John and Sarah did called Ruby.
Oh yeah.
That's what we were gonna do
Ruby.
next.
I'll do that for you, Andy, of course. Also, Colm, that's one of my favorite Irish songs. Reminds me of my dad because we used to be in an Irish. I used to be in an Irish band actually in middle school and stuff. I think me and Colm were talking about that when we saw each other. But that was one of my favorites.
The Old Triangle or the Galway Shawl?
Triangle.
Oh yeah.
I don't know the other one actually. I know the Old Triangle and like, you know, all those songs. I mean, they're just all absolutely gorgeous and just tear your heart out. I had never heard the other one you played though. That was absolutely gorgeous. I mean, I think Galway. Was it Galway Bay?
Galway Bay. It was potentially written by an American songwriter. This is what I was saying to Andy. Like a lot of these songs were written by second generation Irish guys who, and then like the likes of Bing Crosby and Frank Sinatra would sing things like "Did Your Mother Come from Ireland?" "Mammy McCree," "Kiss the Blarney Stone." You know, these songs that aren't actually traditional Irish songs. They're just written about Ireland. And Galway Bay was more than likely one of those type of songs. But yeah, I remember when we were together, I think we covered the whole Van Morrison discography.
Oh, yeah. The whole Chieftains album, yeah, that's
terrific.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, actually, we got this. If you can see this, this was this year's Van Fest. Our little beanie that we got.
Wow.
Just this,
So
1991.
It's been going longer than me and you were alive. That's amazing.
That's right, 1991. So that's
wow.
5 years older than me. Yeah.
Wow. Fair play. Terrific.
It was fun. It was a good one this year. We listened to a lot of Van, drank a lot of good single malt. It was good.
It's what Van would want.
Exactly. Yeah. So this one, you want to say something about this song?
This song, I started writing this song because I was working a job that I hated and I needed some self-soothing encouragement.
Not the one at Round Room. No.
No, I love my job around room. Smile, Ruby, it'll be okay. Smile, Ruby, working hard each day. If you give me a grin, it'll be alright. Smile, Ruby, you're so beautiful. Smile, ruby from that ancient soul. No more passing your heart around the town. Sorry I didn't know, should have picked up the phone. I'm not the one who's lazy. On my feet the whole time, get no tips, which is fine. Now tell everyone I'm crazy, but I swear the sun will shine. No more bosses, no more smell of wine. They'll see me singing on the stage. So smile, Ruby, it'll be okay. Smile, Ruby, working hard each day. If you give me a grin, it'll be alright. Smile, Ruby, you're so beautiful. Smile, Ruby, from the ancient soul. No more passing your heart around the town. He says I got pretty eyes. I say I get off at 9. He's gonna take me to the movies. Then she said, don't you know that you're working till close? They always do this to me, but I swear the sun will shine. No more bosses, no more smell of wine. And they'll see me singing on the stage. So smile, Ruby, it'll be okay. Smile, Ruby, working hard each day. If you give me a grin, it'll be alright. Smile, Ruby, you're so beautiful. Smile, Ruby, from that ancient soul. No more passing your heart around the town.
All right, guys.
Wow, that was great. Wow, that's a very nice song.
Yeah, it kind of goes back to doo-wop times.
Absolutely does.
That little Roy Orbison strumming pattern. Love that stuff.
I predict your prediction is going to be right. You'll not be serving. You'll be on the stage, and they're going to go, "Well, it should have been nicer to her."
Exactly.
Amen, Linda.
Wow, I can't believe the time's gone by. This has been a fun show. I'm grateful to the people who have been supporting the GoFundMe page since we've been live, and I encourage people to continue to watch us on rerun and to continue to give and to support the work of Andy and Linda, and really support the music and the artists that are here and independent musicians all over the world. I'm grateful to have a place to host artists and be a place to be seen and to be heard, and really grateful for the time we spent in your living room, Andy. And we will come back again, and wherever that living room is, it will be yours, and we'll come and hang out for sure.
And I want to thank Colm. I understand, Colm, you're the instigator here.
Yes, he is. He is the instigator.
You know, Andy, I think there's just an extended thanks that's owed to everybody here who gave up their time to take part. Jeff, Lauren, Sarah, and John, Wes, and Victoria, and then everybody who tuned in as well. Because again, I meant to say this before I sang my last song, was there's a word in Irish called mehel, and mehel basically loosely translated means this idea that if someone's shed falls apart, and this is the example I use all the time actually, if someone's shed falls apart, that the people in the community come together, raise up the money and help put them back together. And if there was ever a symbol of what mehel is or what it's supposed to be, I think we've experienced it here today. So God bless the pair of you, and have a enjoy the holidays.
Thank you. All of you guys enjoy the holidays.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Sending love to
Happy Hanukkah.
Happy Hanukkah, Happy Holiday, Merry Christmas, and sending love to all of you.
Love all of y'all
Happy holidays.
so much.
Love you all.
Better New Year.
And
Better New Year.
Better New Year.
Better New Year.
All around the world, yes.
All around the world.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's what we need. All right, my love. I'm gonna stop the recording. Bye, everybody in virtual land.
Hey, John and Sarah, I sent you guys a message.